Welcome to the Undiscovered Gems podcast, hosted by radio legend and serial entrepreneur Steve Harper, highlighting today's best and brightest business minds.
This is Undiscovered Gems, and this is a podcast highlighting today's best and brightest business minds. We've got two of them here today. Very exciting because we're going to look deeper into the changes coming to the health and wellness products industry. And it's big news as Panacea Life Sciences acquires Sierra Sage and Hallucinex. The acquisition is impactful because it actually means more products and research geared at holistic health. And we've got the people behind those two companies right now. He is the president of Panacea Life Sciences, 35 years of sales and management experience. He joined the company in 2018 to ramp up the sales and the CBD line of products. And in 2022, pivoted the company into the nutraceutical market to become a leader in soft gel manufacturing, and now working with 30 different companies on all different products. And he's with us today. Nick Cavarra joins us. Welcome, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. Yeah, it's great to have you here. We got a lot to talk about. And we also want to welcome in the other side of this acquisition, and that is the CEO and co-founder of Sierra Sage Herbs. She's got 20 years of experience in the health and wellness space, master's in health psychology, pre-med. She joined forces with her sister, who is a certified herbalist and midwife, and also a mother, graphic designer, to create the plant-based hub, Sierra Sage Herbs. Together, they have come up with many multiple brands, and she is with us. Jodi Scott joins us on the program. Hey, Jodi, how you doing?
Great. How you doing?
I'm well. This is exciting. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're really excited about this, excited about aligning and the opportunities that we can bring to the market in the future.
So I want to focus on the two companies, and then we're going to look at you guys individually. But let's look at Panacea. Alternative remedies for natural health and wellness. How did this company start? How did it evolve? How did even the manufacturing process take place?
Sure. I'll give you kind of a quick overview of the company. We started looking at the opportunity in this space, actually on the cannabis side, on the CBD and the THC side back in 2014. And we actually made some investments in this business. Leslie Budorf, our CEO and the founder, started the Panacea back in 2017. And really, we decided at that time to focus on the CBD business. We liked the health and wellness side of the plant. In Colorado, everything was emerging. The excitement around hemp, excitement around cannabis came to fruition. So we jumped in. And we did not, at the time, focus on the THC side, but we wanted to focus on CBD, and that's what we did. So we started Panacea Life Sciences and built a line of CBD products. And that was going incredibly well. We were ramping up sales. We recently moved into our new facility in Golden, Colorado in 2019. So that was a big step for us. We started in a little 6,000 square foot facility and ramped up quickly into our new building, which is where we are today. So in Golden, we have a 51,000 square foot facility. We're GMP certified. And really our focus, Steve, was to do things the right way, quality products, new innovation, and delivering an unbelievable health and wellness product that's an alternative remedy to what we would say is an over-the-counter or big pharma product. And as we evolved the company, we started to look at where it could go in terms of all of natural health and wellness. And so we were investigating the nutraceutical market. We knew that there was growth there. And so the timing was actually perfect because COVID had hit. There was a downturn in the cannabis markets. We weren't really seeing a lot of movement from the federal government on CBD products, regulatory issues and things like that. Here, and because we had our facility to expand into the nutraceutical market. So as the cannabis sector was starting to stagnate, I guess is the best way to put it, we decided to pivot and move into the nutraceuticals. And we did that by expanding our manufacturing capabilities. And so one of the things I challenged our team on early on was, let's be great at one thing. What can we do in this nutraceutical world that we could be great at in manufacturing? And so we focused on vegan soft gel production, believe it or not, because there was a strong need and a strong interest in the market to produce a vegan soft gel. And so we spent about 2 years and quite a bit of money figuring out that process, which is very challenging. And today we're one of the best in the country at making a vegan soft gel. So that expansion and that movement into the nutraceutical business really opened up our eyes and opened up the markets. And it became just fascinating for me to see where CBD could play in that. And also what ingredients and what really formulations and what products are out in the market. And as we started to look more and more into it, and we started to work with all these companies, we recognized there's just a huge opportunity to be a big player in the space. And that's how we got started with us moving into the natural health and wellness industry as a whole.
It seems that you guys were right on the beginning of the emergence of CBD. Like your timing was impeccable.
It was. We looked at it. And it was interesting because we had to make a choice at that point to look at the THC side of it or just focus on the health and wellness. And Leslie and I decided we really wanted to just focus on health and wellness, working with humans and pets, trying to make them feel better every day without taking, Tylenol every day or Motrin every day. What are some of the natural products that we could bring to the market? And, CBD and hemp's been around for thousands of years. It's been used by many folks through the years, and we wanted to bring it back to fruition. And it's a little bit unfortunate right now where we are with the CBD industry because, and I think Jodi would concur, because it's a great product. We help a lot of people every day feel better, and we're still not getting the necessary guidelines or guidance from the FDA or the government at this point. They keep kicking it down the road, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Well, I don't want to get political here. I don't go down that road. You were about to say big pharma. I saw your.
I was.
We'll let that go. But I think we're all thinking the same thing in regard to that. And it's also an education process too. So many people have an aversion to CBD because they connect it to marijuana, THC, and all of that. And I do believe that there's much more education needed before it becomes widespread. But yes, to your point, if the FDA got on board with that, the traction would be a lot easier in getting that done. I want to talk about the marriage of these two companies in just a moment, but let's get the backstory, or actually the sibling story from Jodi on Sierra Sage. Tell us, how'd you guys get started, you and your sister?
Yeah, so my sister's a certified herbalist and a midwife, and I was pre-med. And we sought out, when we first started this, was to change first aid. We saw in the first aid category, there was a lot of chemicals, no sustainability, and really a category that had not been disrupted in multiple decades. And it was very interesting when we were looking at the consumer base that the natural consumer was willing to abandon their natural ethos because they were told the legacy chemical-laden products were the only ones that could get the job done. And then in terms of the conventional consumer, they were just generally dissatisfied on what was available on the OTC market. There were people suffering from chronic skin conditions, but the solutions on the OTC market were for short-term use. And so use this product for 2 days, or you need to go see your doctor. So we saw an opportunity to bring plant-based solutions to first aid. And our secret sauce is our extraction process. So we've been extracting from plants for nearly a decade. We do this unique lipid infusion extraction. So we bring the plants to our manufacturing facility where we take them through this process, yield the highest amount of the medicinal properties, and then put custom oils into all of the products. So you can see with the Panacea partnership in terms of extracting and the plant-based solutions in some very high CAGR disruptive categories. Now we have since expanded into sexual wellness, CBD, pet, personal care, taking that unique process and bringing a more health and wellness approach to your traditional body care products.
So do I have this right now? Sierra Sage, 90,000 points of distribution around the U.S., Whole Foods, and there's so many companies, Target, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, on and on and on. So you're touching the consumer. So we have that effectively handled. And then on the other side with Panacea, it's the manufacturing. And is that why this is such a powerful combination?
It is. I think that's one of many, right, Nick, in terms of us having the synergies to dovetail each of our strengths with our retail footprint, their manufacturing capabilities. We'll be able to improve efficiencies, improve margin, accelerate our market share. And then I think we both have similar passions in the R&D area where we see some low-hanging fruit and opportunities in some high growth sectors that we're going to be able to really penetrate at this point.
Now, you mentioned the secret sauce. I really think the secret sauce is the green goo.
We love the goo.
Yeah, exactly. Super popular product for CRSH. Briefly, green goo. Tell us.
It's great. So that is our first aid collection. And what we did is we looked at your legacy products in the first aid space, studied the data, and said, can we bring a solution that's just as effective, if not better? But in addition to that, rather than just cannibalizing sales to a counterpart, we thought, what other innovation can we bring to this space? So for example, our first aid solution is not just a topical antiseptic, but it is your first aid kit in one little tin. So it's for cuts and scrapes, but it's bug bites, it's bee stings, it's poison ivy. You, for the first time, have a portable first aid product with you. Another example is we have a vapor rub. In studying the audience who was using this product, they weren't just using it to open up their airway. There's this notion that if you use this vapor rub, it will improve your immune system and help you sleep better. Well, it doesn't. The legacy products don't have any sleep properties or antiviral properties. So we went ahead and included antiviral and sleep properties into these products. So we're always looking at not only can we provide a solution, but what innovation can we bring to be more efficient and solve more problems for the consumer.
It's so ironic. A friend of mine just bought a bunch of stuff. She was at the store and she bought vapor rub. She gave it to me. She's just like that kind of a friend. And there was an inhaler. And I looked at it and I'm like, it doesn't seem natural to me. And it's almost like I have an aversion to it. And I think that's where, your product line and certainly Panacea come in because we feel comfortable. And to your point with the first aid kit, campers love it. It's like throw that in your backpack and you're good to go. I want to pivot over for a second to you, Nick, in terms of new products and collaborating with Sierra Sage. You guys got any plans for anything that on the drawing board, so to speak, right now?
Yeah, we actually do. There's a lot of synergy between the products. CBD is great for pain, sleep, inflammation, anxiety. There's clinical studies now that back that. We actually made a significant investment up at Colorado State University, as a matter of fact, Steve, where both Leslie and I went to school. And we invested about $1.5 million up at CSU to do clinical research and study and innovation. So one of the reasons we were excited to work with Jodi was just we aligned in terms of R&D. We aligned in terms of quality, research, innovation, and where we want to go with the products. And as we've gone through this natural health and wellness journey, what we're quickly learning is there's some amazing new products that we can bring to the marketplace. One area we're looking at strongly is in the mushroom industry. And we think there's a lot of opportunities in the mushroom business, which complements CBD very well. Yep. What I found early on in our studies and research, and I think is an interesting point as we move into the mushroom business, is the medical community is far more receptive of the mushroom industry and the products, the functional products, and the remedies that can be derived from that plant, which is a little bit interesting to me because CBD does so many great things. But I think what you pointed out early on, that connotation of, I think there's that one question: do people get high from a CBD product? And it's a challenge that we've always tried to overcome. The mushroom business is a little bit different, and so I think we're going to take some pretty aggressive approaches to that industry. Jodi can talk a little bit about what they're doing with hallucinogens right now with some really exciting studies. But I think in terms of innovation, what you're going to see with CBD, and this is just my personal belief, I think once the FDA gets on board, you're going to see a lot of nutraceutical companies starting to look at CBD as a great ingredient to add to whatever products they may be creating. And we know that firsthand because we talk and work with a lot of nutraceutical companies right now. The way that we kind of look at it is, if you remember the old BASF commercials where they talked about, we don't make things, we make things better. We kind of feel like that's where CBD is going to play very well in the natural health and wellness space. So if you look at a CoQ10 product, for example, for heart health, adding CBD to the mix of the ingredients where it can lessen inflammation, for example, is a nice added product. So I think the whole emerging market of natural health and wellness, combining what Jodi's done in the first aid side, combining it with the CBD business, and just the knowledge base that we've gained over the last 5 years is going to lead us to some pretty incredible products in the market.
Real quick, back to the FDA. What's your gut tell you in terms of the FDA giving CBD a blessing?
The Farm Bill in 2023 is due in December. We're hoping that it will pass because if you look at what the product can do, and if you look at the plant itself, it's a great reclamation plan. It does a great job with remediating the soil. There's so many benefits to the hemp plant, from bioplastics to sustainability, that farmers could take advantage of this as well. But because they've been kicking it down the road a little bit, as I mentioned earlier, it's just gotten stagnant. Our hopes is that they look at it as a dietary supplement and that they include it in an ingredient. But I also respect that they want to be careful with it, and they want to be sure that people are managing the product and the plant properly, which is something obviously we would do at Panacea.
I find it interesting that you started with CBD, and there was a perception we talked about before in terms of marijuana. Now we look at mushrooms, and then there's some perception there that it's all psychedelic and all of that, same kind of feel to it. Jodi, in terms of the research on hallucinogenics, tell us about that. Where are you at with that?
So we're doing some great stuff at Hallucinex, and they're actually the first organization in the world to be approved by Health Canada for a 6-month follow-up for a macro dose, which is really incredible. And we're focusing on treatment-resistant PTSD and working directly with the VA, with veterans and police officers. And we're seeing an 80% full remission after the macro dose, which is really impressive. We have a 6,000 square foot facility that's attached to the hospital there, with a therapeutic location. We have the approval for around 10 different psychedelic compounds that we could be using. We're focusing on psilocybin, but we do have the opportunity that we could be using ketamine and MDMA. We also have an aqueous solution that is helping with a more consistent bioavailability. And so one of the other synergies, of course, with Panacea is the vegan capsules, and being able to explore a consistent delivery system with our product. Mm-hmm. So I think to your point earlier, where does CBD and where mushrooms coming in? I think the mushroom space is going to help accelerate some of the benefits of the nutraceutical side on the CBD side. CBD being really more recognized now as a superfood, will become sort of an everyday ingredient. And functional mushrooms are helping in that area. And then, of course, we're seeing a huge advancement on the psychedelic side. SSRIs are at an all-time high, and clinical intervention can take a huge expense along with a lot of time. So having the potential for psychedelics as the actual therapy is really a more efficient and productive solution that we're seeing. So we're going to be able to take what we're doing in Nova Scotia and model some of that here in the US as we start to see some of the future decriminalization continue.
It's amazing you mentioned Canada, and I've had this conversation with people who work in the CBD industry in Canada. What a difference in terms of how things are much more open there, and CBD is accepted. It's okay. Even, the marijuana industry, it's totally different. Let's look at Panacea, Nick, and price points, structuring. How does that change in terms of what you guys are doing with this acquisition for the consumer?
I think we've looked at the CBD market as a nutraceutical. We've kind of changed our mindset and how it should be perceived. And so we ended up moving just recently to an everyday low price model with our CBD products. So we have a line of products that are ingestibles, topicals for pets and for humans, covers all areas. And again, as I mentioned, the primary focus is on pain, sleep, and anxiety and inflammation. And so the everyday model gives everyone, particularly in this inflationary period that we're in right now, it gives them an opportunity to try the products and to use the products similar to what they would use in terms of a nutraceutical. And so we did early in the year, we did a large survey with our customer base, and we really found two things. Number one is people love our products. I think our quality stands out because one thing Panacea focused on early on, Steve, is we're a seed to sale company. So we actually owned a farm and own a farm up in the western slopes of Colorado. And then we have our manufacturing here. So unlike other CBD companies, we watch every aspect of the process. And so we're vertically integrated. And I think that makes a big difference in terms of the quality of our products. And that resonates because we have a lot of repeat customers. But one thing we learned from them is they were looking for more affordability, looking to see if we could bring the price point down so they could afford it and buy more product. And so we did as I mentioned, we did some research. We looked on Amazon, for example, and we wanted to understand where the nutraceutical market was. And so now we're kind of priced in those areas with the anticipation that the industry is going to grow, more people are going to use the product on a global scale, and we'll be right there with the right price point.
Panacea, Sierra Sage, these are your babies. And I find that I love it. As a matter of fact, that it's not another company that you work for. This is the company that you, Nick, started with a classmate. And then you, Jodi, with your sister. Jodi, did you ever dream that you would be connecting with another company and then even growing from this point forward?
It's an incredible opportunity. I mean, our goal was to change people and how they engaged with their products to have healthier, more sustainable, impactful social impact with their products and make the world a better place. And this is an incredible opportunity to do that in a more meaningful way and across the globe. So we're thrilled.
Your passion shines through, you and Nick. It's gratifying. It's exciting. Nick, a couple of minutes left here. What do you want the consumer to know about this merger?
I think most importantly that we're there for the people. Both of our companies have great teams. Our organization's great. We love that we're manufacturing here in Colorado. We're trying to build businesses here, and our focus has really been on building great companies. And we are a public company at this point, but our focus is how do we build a great company. Really just the blocking and tackling aspect of it. So when we merge with this merger with Sierra Sage, we just see a complement there that makes a lot of sense in terms of products, innovation, distribution. And so, the opportunity for us to grow this and grow, provide shareholder value and grow revenue and create some great products in the market that, I think to Jodi's point, at the end of the day, our passion is making a difference in people's lives. And if we can do that, we'll build a great business.
How about you, Jodi? Any thoughts finally on the marriage of these two companies?
100% aligned. We're thrilled just to hit the ground running. And to Nick's point, show some incredible shareholder value, demonstrate those efficiencies and those synergies, and develop some incredible products that are going to make a difference.
The name of this podcast is Undiscovered Gems, and I don't think there's a better fit for that title and these two companies, because now you guys are in the news because of the merger. It's only a couple of weeks old, and I feel that always there's strength in numbers, and now we have a lot of strength here. Not to say that you guys weren't flourishing before the merger, but what you both bring to the table. When I say a marriage, what is that? That's a partnership. And when you bring two people together or companies and they have different things they can offer, be it Panacea on the research and development side, and then Sierra Sage on the marketing side and the backstory and everything. Whoa, God bless. It's like very exciting for you, both of you guys. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here today, and looking forward to hearing more and more as time goes on with the two companies. Thank you again.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Undiscovered Gems, we appreciate you being here, and we're coming right back. Thanks.